Welcome back to part 2 of the third At the Gates developer Let's Play video. So we were about to end our turn in the last video, in turn 4. We have successfully made it through 4 turns so far, but there's a lot been going on, so it's not a bad thing. We'll go ahead and end our turn, and hopefully, fingers crossed, that caravan will show up that I think will be showing up, and we can get started on our apiary. Oh, crap. Alright, well, it didn't. Must be late June. This is my own fault. Alright, well, note to self, stop being terrible. Tell people when the caravans are going to show up. So, normally we would start constructing our apiary here, but we can't until next turn, so we're just going to skip our turn. Kind of use the tab key. I'm a hotkey fan, so I'll go ahead and do that. Alright, so we have Rude here. We have a neutral wheat farm over here, but scouts are not warriors, so they can't go in and burn it. They're more about exploring. So we'll keep moving around here. Alright, looks like this is the end of the road. Yeah, okay. I get the feeling this is not going to be anything. Okay, so, alright, what does our action center up here on the right tell us we need to do? May switch clan. So, discovery. So now we need a surveyor. And, oop, our close button seems to have been hidden here. Gotta fix that. Ooh, Fairmond. Alright. Disobedient, bad in honor. Hotkey, no. Okay. Open it back up. Alright, different way. Simple. Bad in discovery. Great. Bad in honor, bad in discovery. Disobedient and simple. Fairmond, maybe we can send you off to the salt mines. Actually, a salt mine would be right. Nice at the moment, but don't have one. So, anyways, let's go back to our home, our settlement here. Okay, so discipline. So we need a surveyor. Now, what might be nice, actually, is if our surveyor could move around quickly. Almond is vigorous. He can move around pretty quickly. We also gave him bonus levels in agriculture. But, you know, this is kind of one of those examples where I think it makes sense to go ahead and bite the bullet. So we'll go ahead and pop him over to purple. Oh, bummer. Okay, well, settlement is idle. Alright, we need to train somebody else. So, question is what we want to get working on now. I think we have our digger here. Our ill-fated farmer is busy, but not as busy as she should be. We're going to build a logger here, logging camp here, to kind of collect these. So the question is what we want to do in the meantime. Now, let's see, gather, reaper, hunter, wood collector. There we have the scout that we need. Let's see, what would be the best thing to do right now? You know, I'm almost kind of thinking that a hunter might make sense, because a hunter can collect food from one of these animals, these animal herds. Because we'll be collecting honey here, which can be used as food, but it's also it's more efficient if you use it as something else. You know, you can use it to turn into wine as mead, basically. And it's also something that you can trade. It's generally good to hold on to. You don't want to be kind of burning it off pretty early. So I think we may go ahead and go for that. It does cost us a weapon to train a hunter, but that's okay. So our hunter, boy, these guys are just out of control. Fairmond, nope, disobedient, 4 turns. So you can see here, you know, 2, 2, 2, 2. I think I might make Wilmot our hunter. Wilmot's afraid of animals, which probably doesn't make sense. That they would be fine being hunters, but oh well, you know. again, something else to add to my agenda of things to work on. It's, you know, when you're designing a game, you kind of come up with these traits, you come up with these disciplines, you know, fields, bonuses, whatever. And a lot of times you're surprised by how things connect up. It's like, oh, okay, you know, comes from, you know, the trait that's bad with livestock is, well, what does that make sense? You know, what is somebody that's bad with livestock? Well, maybe they're afraid of animals. Okay. Well, then, you know, you have something else that kind of ties into another discipline like hunters, which involves animals. If you're afraid of animals, like we have here, it doesn't really make sense for you to be a good hunter. You know, it's one of those things that kind of sneaks up on you later. But do with it the best you can, and you know, that's why it's good to have a lot of time to polish things up. So I think that's it for this turn, and we'll go ahead and move on. Okay, so our caravan has arrived. Hooray! Well, I know what we want to do there. Okay, good. All right, so timber's here. So the caravan, I think I talked about in the last video, is something that changes every time. There's some variance to it. And this time there is cattle for sale, which is kind of cool. There's steel for sale. Stone is not for sale, but we could earn more by selling stone if we had it, which we don't. Oil, this caravan has additional oil, and we can buy it for cheaper. So normally it's, you know, normally 6 treasure, but this time we could buy it for 4. So it's a pretty good discount. Sometimes it can be things like, there's no timber for sale, and if that had been the case, oh boy, I would have been a little PO'd. Fortunately, that wasn't the case, so we need our 10 timber to kind of start on our apiary. So we will go ahead and do that. Buy 10 for 7.5 treasure. We have 10 to spend, because we now start the game with 10. We'll go ahead and do that. Alright, cool. So let's see, what else do we got here? We have a little bit of treasure left to spend. Not a whole lot. Could use some more weapons, but unfortunately that's not going to... We can't afford even one of them. They cost 3 each. Yeah, okay, so no dice. Parchment would be nice as well, but boy, yeah, I just don't have much of anything. I just don't have much of anything here. Okay, well, I have 2.5. I can buy a tool. I might as well buy a tool, because tools are nice. They kind of get you rolling. It's the basic resource of your economy. So it's important to make sure you have enough tools. Okay, so our farmer, Conrad, for apiary. We can go ahead and delete that note now, because they're going to make an apiary now. Alright, note didn't disappear. I think if we click off... Okay, alright, good. So, note is gone now. Just didn't refresh. And we can start building an apiary here. Excellent. Alright, so route or scout. Yep, there's the end of the road. Hooray. Try to duck around that direction, maybe. Alright, Alram has joined our tribe. Alram he likes to know what's going on, but we're still finishing our hunters here. So that's something that we can deal with. Not too troublesome. So our score is up to 24. And I think that's it for now. Yeah, we're out of money. We can't really sell anything to make more. One thing actually I do know I want to do, so we're about to finish our surveyors. I want to get loggers online. Really want to get those guys going. So I'll go ahead and we're doing surveyors right now. I can queue up crafting, right click on loggers. So number 2, number 3, and now we're queued up, so we don't have to worry about that for a little while. End the turn. Okay, so just finished Wilmot, training Wilmot as hunters. Now we have to decide where we actually want to put them. So the animals up here are unfortunately kind of out of the way, because this horse is here and the mountains, don't really know where the mountains end, so this is probably our best bet. So we'll go ahead and get them moving down this direction. So we can send them on a path here. Alright, Rude. Let's see if we can sneak around the corner here. Alright, yes. There's a deserted location, deserted farm. So our scout can grab it, and we might get some food or some timber, something like that, which is certainly helpful. So next thing to do, settlement's idle. Alright, so now we have double purple, double discovery here. This game just, every time I do one of these videos, it just seems to like to stab me in the eye. Okay, so we just finished our surveyor. I think Almond makes sense, because he has that extra movement point. Surveyors move around a lot, so if they have extra movement, that's a good thing. Alrim we can probably do something else with, maybe make them a lore keeper, or, I don't know, there's a lot of different options. Okay, alright, I think that's it for this turn. And go ahead and move on. Alright, so let's go ahead and follow the action button here, and turn button. This is something that added in Civ 5. Kind of leads you into the direction of whatever the most important thing is at the time. So as long as you hit enter, you know, as the tooltip maybe will tell us. No tooltip? Oh man, this game is broken. Goodness sakes. Well, in any case, there should be a tooltip there. If we click off and then hit enter, it will activate it. So if we move up, so you can always hit enter to do whatever it is that needs to be done next. You can hit spacebar to bring up the clan screen where a lot of the action happens. Click space again to close it. Trying to make it so that the hotkeys, if you hit the same hotkey twice, if it opens up something, same time you hit it, closes it. You know, little convenience things, nothing too fancy, but things that make the game a little bit easier to play. Alright, so Rude, I know what we want you to do. Yes, nobody beat us to it. There we go. Oh yeah, that's what I like to see. Okay, so we got some free food from that deserted farm, which is really good because we're getting close to running out, and we do now actually have our apiary online. You can see our apiary here is a very fine example of late antiquity architecture. You can see the marble looping here is very nice. The blue is a very, very rare exotic color. Alright. Maybe I shouldn't have built an apiary. Oh well. You know, I guess that's how you guys know that this is a legitimately random playtest. Not a scripted demo, let me tell you. Okay. Artists are going to kill me for that one. Alright, so Rude isn't quite done yet. There's a nice little river here that's running along the coastline, and I think we can continue just heading down. Oh, alright, well, looks like that's the end of the road. Alright, so, well, at least that river kind of blocked us off from somebody else grabbing that deserted location before us. That deserted farm was pretty nice. Those 3 turns are going to come in handy. Alright, so if we hit enter again, it tells us what we want to do next. Okay, may switch clan, and Beagle we just got. Of course, he's also in crafting, and we just got a bonus in crafting. Great. Great. You know, I think I may just give it to him. So he's now level 4. That'll get us an extra turn on the logger, which should be done, okay, 2 turns. So surveyor in 1 turn, loggers in 2. And our other clan over here, Wilmot is heading towards the animals there. And that's it for this turn. Okay, Okay, so buy-in of the Avars is an important matter to discuss. We must have found him somewhere, or he found us. I don't see him anywhere. Oh, no. Okay, I can see. No, no, that is the Avars. Okay. Wow, alright. Well, maybe there's a color conflict or something. I thought yellow was them. Was the Huns. Alright, well, that must be broken. The list gets longer, friends. The list gets longer. Alright, buy-in. Alright, let's talk with buy-in. Okay. So some of the diplomacy text is repeated at the moment. Before we ship, we're going to end up customizing all that. There's going to be a lot of variety there, but for now, there's a little bit of overlap. That's one of the things that you flesh out in the later part of the development process. But buy-in. Okay, so he's at least a little bit more friendly than Attila, who is just like, "Hey, buddy, get out of here." Whatever. Not very polite, but so let's see where buy-in wants us to stay away from. So over here. Okay, so the Huns are here, and the Avars must be over in this direction. I think we can probably make that work. That's not too close to us. Whereas Attila basically want us to pack up immediately, which is not going to happen. That's just not at all reasonable. But that's Attila for you. So buy-in, we'll agree to that. Good. All right. Thank you. That should probably be at the bottom. All right. So that's good news for us. That means buy-in and us are on probably better terms now. That's a good thing, especially with Attila between us. Attila is not a friendly guy. He's kind of a bully, and he's already set his sights on us. So if we can get a friend, that probably makes a lot of sense, especially if it's somebody who's a little bit further away. Really easy way to kind of win some friendship there. Okay, clans are idle. All right, we have our first surveyor online. Yes, that's what I like to see. Oh, okay, so if I'd been paying attention to notifications instead of talking, I would notice we discovered some coal here. And that is decently good. It's not superb, just because we can't do anything with coal just yet. We can sell it. We can sell it to a caravan, which is nice, because we can always, let's see, bring up the caravan screen, show all. Aha! All the resources. All of the resources. Coal. Okay, if we mouse over coal. So 2 treasure profit if sold. So that's enough to buy, what, a tool, I think? Yeah, so every coal we sell, we can buy a new tool for that. That's pretty good. Can't complain about that. So it's, it's helpful. Iron might have been a little bit better, but, I'm not going to complain, so... okay, I guess one of the other things I can talk about here is a new command that we've added to the game. So before, you guys have seen forage, which allows a clan that is in a foraging profession to just directly harvest a resource from a tile without a structure. So you don't need a mine, you don't need a farm, that sort of thing. You just go out there, figure out what the thing is, start digging it up. There's something new called Forage Safely, which allows the clan to forage, and if it doesn't have enough supply in the tile, which is only the case outside of your borders. So within your borders you always have full supply, but outside your borders, if it's winter, normally you would take damage. But if you click Forage Safely here, this command, you'll alternate automatically between foraging and encamping. So this is something that, again, another one of those things that may change before release, but for now, what you can do is there's kind of a one-turn grace period where if you move outside your borders and you don't have enough supply, you have one turn where it's like, okay, well, you used up your stockpile, and then the next turn you either need to encamp or you'll start taking damage, losing morale, that sort of thing. And this allows you to alternate between those two. So if you encamp, then you get your supply back, and then you can forage, but then you don't have the encamp bonus. So then you lose that, you're going to take damage, well, then you can camp again. In any case, this command kind of allows, or it automates that process where you can go back and forth between those without even needing to worry about it. The reason why you wouldn't always just do that is because maybe you want to bring them back in the winter so that they can do something more efficient, like maybe this guy, maybe this coal was outside my borders and there was another mineral here, and I could send him back to inside my borders where he won't take damage, start surveying, start identifying that resource deposit, and he could just keep going. He wouldn't need to encamp at all. So it's, haven't really decided how to present that yet, but it's certainly something that's a very nice feature. One of the things that we add as we go to try and make the game a little bit easier to play. So we'll go ahead and just do that. Might as well. It's in our border, so it doesn't really make a difference. In which case, I should probably just hide it. Actually, another thing to add to my list. I need a list intern. Okay, so we have our vigorous surveyor, so they can head to quite a few different places. So one of surveyors in the previous video were the only profession that could identify deposits. That's no longer the case, and to compensate for that, they now can survey things in 3 turns instead of 5, and they can also move through rough terrain like scouts. So normally, like a forest, as I talked about earlier, would end your turn. Doesn't for a surveyor now. You can just move straight through a forest. No penalty at all. Very handy. So the question is what we want to do next here. Do we want to go for one of these plants, or do we want to go for one of these minerals? See what we have in our settlement here again. Alright, well, we turned our bonus agriculture clan into a bonus discovery, so we lost that. I think I may just go ahead and just figure out what this rock is, because we can move into it for free. Might as well. Okay, so we have our scout here. Kind of a bummer. Lose next turn if entered any of these swamps. Or, any of the river tiles, actually, so... yeah, let's go ahead and head this direction. Might as well. Oop! Alright, more swamps. That's why it's good to move one tile at a time, I guess. Alright, so let's see here. So these tiles are the same. Except this one has a little bit more defense. Move up that way. Move there. Oh! There's another player. There's another leader. Goodness. We're in, like, downtown here. This is downtown at the Gatesville. Alright. Settlement's idle. Okay, we built our farmer. We got a surveyor online. So, this is kind of the point where we kind of have to decide a little bit what we want to prioritize. So, next turn we have a logger that will be ready. And that's pretty handy. So wood collector we can do in 1 turn, but we will sacrifice Clan Beagle here, which isn't so great. So I think what I'm going to do instead is in 1 turn we can also do another scout. I think I'm going to make Alram another scout. He's up another weapon, but we're already down. So we can kind of figure out what's going on around us a little bit more, which is good because we're apparently in a very crowded area. So if we can grab any more of those deserted locations, we're going to be in good shape. Hey, here we go. Alright, so Wilmot has arrived. I think this is another thing that we've added since the last video. When a clan, I guess when a clan is on a mission already, like to move to a place, it will wake up when it still has moves left at the end of the turn, so you can give it an order before the turn ends. So you can see here, Wilmot has already spent 1 move moving from this hill down to here, but then it woke up, and now we can give it something else to do. In the previous versions, I wouldn't do that. It would just move at the end of the turn, and you would lose those extra 2 moves. So this is, again, making a finished game. A lot of things that aren't super exciting, but it certainly matters to the experience. So unfortunately we have to identify this animal first. We have to figure out what it is, what its habits are, that sort of thing. So we'll go ahead and do that, and then we can start hunting it and collecting our honey and not eating it instead, because eating your honey makes me sad. So berry +4 honey, yes. So honey is quite nice. You can do a lot of things with honey. Go ahead and end our turn and move on. It seems Alwyn is also a break dancer. So he's like, all right, you want some coal? No, 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 no. I'm going to break dance. Get down. Alwyn, either that or he's having a seizure. Either way, it's probably not a good thing. But yeah, he does appear to still be collecting some coal for us, so we'll let him do whatever he's doing and continue collecting coal. Alright, Clovis of the Franks has an important matter to discuss. So this must be Clovis down here that we just identified. Alright, yep, we've heard that before, buddy. You and I both know. Okay, sure. Like I said, we need to work on some of the diplomatic text here. Okay, so this is the area he wants us to stay out of. Sure, we can probably do that. That's not great. Man, again, we are like, we are surrounded by everybody, so we gotta be a little bit careful here, I think. Yeah, we'll go ahead and we'll agree to that. Clovis is a guy who's not so nice. He's very, very religious, but he is very aggressive about that. You can see the Bible and the sword. I prefer he would just have the Bible, but he has both, so we have to deal with it. Okay, so our second scout. Oh, shoot. Alright. Alright, our Avar scout here is kind of beating us to the punch a little bit, which isn't so great. Kind of heading up this way. I was hoping to head up that way while their other scouts kind of went up this way to look for more desert locations, but I think I'm going to kind of jump the gun a little bit here and head off this direction instead. So we'll move to this tile instead because it's a hill. Can't really see it very well because it's under a mineral and a forest. Someone is idle. There we go. I think we are ready for Beagle as a logger. Sweet. Alright, we're down to 3 tools though. Not so sweet. Okay, so we finished our loggers. You can see we've kind of opened up a lot of the professions here in the crafting branch. Let's see. So we have some decisions to make here. Shoot. Beekeepers would be nice. You can see the bonus there, +4 honey from apiaries. That would be nice as heck. Late August. So it's getting close to the end of the year here. We're going to start collecting a lot of timber from our logger. And, let's see. I think we can probably... We could use we could use an archer as well to kind of defend what we've got, because we're just in the middle of everything. It's very dangerous, but I'm gonna push my luck here. I think I'm actually gonna go metalworking and then a miner. Yeah, I think I am. Ooh, let's see. Miners, 3 tools. We have 3 tools left. Okay, so that we can just barely do that. And we're going to need to get some blacksmiths and making some tools from iron. Hopefully you can find some iron here. I think we can do it. And then after that, think I want some beekeepers. 10 cloth, though. Oh my goodness, that is just expensive as heck. Alright, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna queue it up, though. I want that. I want the beekeepers. We need to get some more honey out of our apiary here. Alright, we're done with our turn, I think. Alwyn is still boogieing, as he is wont to do. Go ahead and end our turn. Alright, I think, let's see, there's a lot to do, but I think we should probably call it for this part of the video. This is it for part 2. Thanks again for watching. We'll see you again in part 3.